Beneath the streets where millions of Americans walk every single day, there exists a hidden version of the country. One car from stone, poured in concrete, and sealed behind steel doors most people will never see. This is not myth. It is documented, photographed, and in some cases still guarded. Federal bunkers built to survive nuclear war. Forgotten passageways that once moved goods, people, and secrets away from prying eyes. Service tunnels beneath government buildings so extensive that entire subterranean cities exist beneath the marble facades tourists photograph every year. Some of these tunnels are open to visitors today. Others remain classified, their full extent known only to a handful of officials. And the story of how they came to exist says as much about American fear and ambition as any monument built above ground. To understand why the United States is honeycombed with hidden passageways, you have to go back further than the Cold War, further even in the Civil War. Underground construction in American cities began as a practical solution to overcrowding and commerce. In the 19th century, as cities like Seattle, Portland, and New York expanded rapidly, engineers realized that vertical growth alone couldn't solve the problem of moving people, freight, and utilities efficiently. So they built downward. Steam tunnels threaded beneath university campuses and government complexes to carry heat and power without disrupting the streets above. Freight tunnels allowed merchants to move goods without competing with horse-drawn traffic. These were not secret in the ominous sense. They were infrastructure, hidden simply because putting pipes and passageways below ground made more sense than clogging the streets above. Seattle offers one of the most famous and well-documented examples. After a devastating fire destroyed much of the city's business district in 1889, planners rebuilt the streets nearly 2 stories higher than the original ground level, in part to solve chronic flooding and sewage problems. The old storefronts weren't demolished. They were simply buried, and new construction rose above them. What resulted is now known as the Seattle Underground, a network of subterranean sidewalks, storefronts, and passageways that once served as a real, functioning part of the city before being closed off in the early 20th century over health and safety concerns. Today, guided tours walk visitors through these preserved corridors, and historians have written extensively about how ordinary city planning decisions created what many now call one of America's most fascinating hidden landscapes. Portland has its own underground legend, one considerably murkier in terms of verified fact. Local tour operators promote what are known as the Shanghai tunnels, said to have been used in the late 19th and early 20th centuries to move goods between waterfront buildings and, according to popular legend, to kidnap unsuspecting men and sell them into forced labor on ships, a practice historically called Shanghaiing. Historians and researchers, including those affiliated with the Cascade Geographic Society, have documented that tunnels beneath Portland's Old Town did exist and were used for commercial transport. However, professional historians have pushed back on the more sensational Shanghaiing claims, noting a lack of primary source evidence to support the scale of kidnapping activity often described in tourist narratives. The tunnels themselves are real. The full truth of what happened inside them remains a subject of ongoing historical debate, and responsible retellings acknowledge that uncertainty rather than presenting folklore as settled fact. Moving eastward, the tunnels beneath Washington, D.C. shift from urban legend into confirmed government infrastructure. The United States Capitol complex is connected by an extensive underground network linking the Capitol building to the House and Senate office buildings, allowing members of Congress and staff to move between locations without ever stepping outside. These tunnels are well documented, partially visible to visitors on official tours, and even include an underground subway system. Small automated trains that ferry lawmakers between buildings, a system that has existed in some form since the early 20th century. This isn't secrecy for secrecy's sake. It's a practical solution to a sprawling government campus, though it does mean that a significant portion of how the country's laws get made happens partly out of public view, literally beneath the ground. Far more consequential, and far more shrouded in genuine classification, are the bunkers built during the Cold War to ensure the continuity of American government in the event of nuclear war. Perhaps the most famous is the Greenbrier bunker in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, built beneath a luxury resort hotel starting in the late 1950s. Known publicly today as Project Greek Island, the facility was designed to house the entire United States Congress in the event of a nuclear strike on Washington. It remained a closely guarded secret for over 3 decades, staffed by government personnel posing as hotel employees, until a 1992 Washington Post investigation by journalist Ted Gupp exposed its existence, forcing the government to formally decommission it. Today, the bunker is open for public tours, offering a rare, verified glimpse into just how seriously officials once planned for the unthinkable. Not every Cold War facility has been so thoroughly declassified. Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado, carved directly into solid granite, has served since the 1960s as a hardened command center, originally built to withstand nuclear attack while coordinating North American aerospace defense. Portions of its history and function have been publicly acknowledged by the Department of Defense and NORAD, including its role during the Cold War, and its continued, if reduced, operational status today. Similarly, Raven Rock Mountain Complex in Pennsylvania, sometimes referred to informally as an alternate command post for Pentagon, has been reported on by journalists and researchers for decades, though many operational details remain classified. These facilities represent the more sober, verifiable side of the secret tunnels narrative, not folklore, but genuine national security infrastructure that the government itself has partially acknowledged while keeping other elements deliberately obscured. The White House itself sits above a system of tunnels and bunkers that has evolved since the earliest 20th century. The Presidential Emergency Operations Center, reportedly constructed during the Franklin D. Roosevelt administration and expanded in subsequent decades, became widely known to the public after news coverage during the September 11th attacks described Vice President Dick Cheney being taken there for safety. Journalists and historians, drawing on statements from administration officials and subsequent reporting, have confirmed the existence of this facility, though its precise layout and full capabilities remain classified for obvious security reasons. This pattern repeats across nearly every layer of hidden American infrastructure. Enough is confirmed to establish that something significant exists, while enough remains sealed to fuel speculation about what else might be down there. Speculation is, in fact, where much of the modern fascination with underground America drifts into more contested territory. Beyond the confirmed bunkers and transit tunnels, there's a persistent strand of belief in vast, deep underground military bases, sometimes called DUMBs and online discourse, supposedly connected by high-speed tunneling systems stretching across the country. These claims typically circulate through unverified sources, self-published books, and online communities rather than peer-reviewed research, congressional records, or investigative journalism from established outlets. It's worth noting honestly that no credible, publicly available evidence has confirmed the existence of a nationwide network of deep underground bases connected by advanced tunneling technology. What is documented is far more mundane, though still remarkable. Military facilities like Cheyenne Mountain, missile silo complexes scattered across the Great Plains during the Cold War, and hardened command centers built for a very specific, well-understood purpose, ensuring government continuity during nuclear conflict, a real and rational fear that shaped decades of American policy. Beyond the government's own tunnels lie the more human, more melancholic stories of underground America. The passageways built during Prohibition to smuggle alcohol, the steam tunnels beneath college campuses that generations of students have quietly explored, and the abandoned subway stations that sit frozen in time beneath cities like New York, where City Hall's original 1904 station remains preserved, its Guastavino tile ceilings and chandeliers occasionally glimpsed by riders on the number 6 train as it loops through without stopping. These spaces carry a different kind of weight. They aren't classified for national security. They're simply forgotten relics of infrastructure decisions made generations ago, left to gather dust, because closing them was easier than maintaining them. What ties all of these stories together, from the verified bunkers to the debated legends to the quietly abandoned transit stations, is a deeper truth about how nations manage fear and function. Every tunnel, whether built to move freight, protect lawmakers, or simply route steam pipes efficiently, reflects a decision made by people trying to solve a problem without disrupting the world above. Some of those decisions were mundane. Others were shaped by genuine existential dread, the kind that led architects and engineers to pour concrete deep into mountains in case the unthinkable ever arrived. Still others became more myth than fact through generations of retelling, gaining drama with each new storyteller. Historians, journalists, and documentarians who spend careers investigating these spaces consistently urge the same caution. Separate what has been confirmed through records, declassified documents, and first-hand reporting from what has simply been repeated so often it feels true. Standing above these tunnels today, most Americans have no idea what lies beneath their feet. A member of Congress walking to a vote, a tourist snapping photos on a Seattle sidewalk, a commuter waiting on a New York platform. None of them are thinking about the layers of history and secrecy stacked in the earth below. But that hidden architecture tells its own story about a country built not only upward toward ambition, but downward toward survival, commerce, and sometimes shame. It's a reminder that history isn't only written in speeches and monuments visible to everyone. Sometimes it's poured in concrete, sealed behind unmarked doors, and left waiting patiently for someone curious enough to look beneath the surface.